Is this your first time in Singapore?
It is the first time that I've actually come out of the airport. Yes, I've transited through here maybe 4 or 5 times, and I've seen the butterflies and the orchids in the airport, but never in real life, and got to wander the streets and taste the foods and meet the people and come and stay at Betel Box.
What about you, Sophie?
It's my second time. I was really young when I was here the first time, would have been about 10. From what I can remember, it's changed quite a lot. I don't remember the architecture being quite so spectacular and just out of this world. So it's been good to have a bit more time here and just seeing it from an adult's perspective. You notice the detail and all the things that are on offer. There's so much opportunity. It's honestly mind-boggling.
So what's your impression about Singapore?
It's an extremely livable city, and it works like nowhere I think I've ever been to before. Everything is very well orchestrated. Obviously, there's some great levels of law handed down from above, which means that people live and they're law-abiding citizens. It's an interesting place. The transport system is extremely efficient, and there's a lot of shopping. It's not the cheapest place in the world to live, but it's probably got one of the most controlled, brilliant lives, foods, nightlife, and cultures that I've lived in.
Yeah, for me, it's the big thing that I've noticed is back in Australia, we feel like we have a pretty diverse community, but it's nothing like what you guys have here. And it's just the way that you bring everyone together and celebrate everyone's differences. It's very new to me, and it's quite special. I feel like in Singapore you can be free, you can be yourself, even though there is that element of control. It still feels so peaceful here and accepting, and that's the kind of place that I'd want to live. So I love it here.
Survived the 6 hours food walk that we had with Tony. What's your most interesting dish that you tried in the food walk?
We'd had a bit of a sample a couple of days before of the frog, and I think it always makes a lot of Westerners go, "You're going to eat frog, oh my God." To see it in the live form in the back of the kitchen is one thing. To see it in its cooked, slightly KFF, Kentucky Fried Frog form is very different and digestible and edible. But I love the diversity of things like just the names. A fish custard would turn most people's noses up, but to go there and sample it and taste it and have that diversity of foods, the length of the night, the conversation throughout the night, and the things that we learned and took away from that, it really gave me the education that equipped me with the skills to know a bit more about how Singapore works more than anything.
Yeah, for me it was the desserts at the end, because they're very different to what we have in our country. And the colour, there was like this fluoro green thing that just, I'd never seen anything like that before. So I'd highly recommend not eating so much at the start, because dessert is pretty special and you need to make room for it.
I did struggle to walk, I have to say that, for the first few hours, because I was eating far too much. The use of spices, the colours of the food, and of course the classic, the Singapore chili crab, being able to suck out the claw, get the meat in there and have all of that chili taste and those beautiful flavours. For me, Singapore chili crab, even though it's a cliche, it's probably the winner for me.
Maybe you'd like to share a little bit more about the best life in the world adventure that you guys are having. What inspired you guys to do it together?
So the Best Life in the World project is all about trying to find people across the globe and throughout our journey that are truly happy and what gives them that satisfaction in life. It will change from country to country. For some people it might be having a lovely car to drive down the road. For other people it might be living with their close family. For other people it's going to be simply, in the poverty areas of the world, much more about simply having some security, a roof over their heads, and protecting for their children as much as anything. So this is where we're going to go and find all these different people, from the stockbrokers to the guys that operate hawker food stalls on the corners of the streets, and find out why they're happy and what gives them that happiness, all the way from Singapore over the 10 months back to the UK.
Yeah, and I think ultimately the reason we're doing this trip is we've been working hard our whole lives, but we need to take time to figure out what makes us happy. And by looking at what other people value, it'll make us reevaluate what we value and what we really should be focusing on in the future.
So are there any individual goals that you guys would like to achieve personally in this journey itself?
To eat the weirdest and wackiest foods is one of my projects that I'm going to be doing throughout this journey.
For me, it's probably two things. Like on the fun side, I want to try the national dress in each country, and then try to deconstruct that, like what's the history that goes into the national dress. But also more on an emotional level, for me it's about learning to just let go of control, go with the flow, and just take time to be quiet, listen and learn, and just enjoy, and not feel like everything has to have an outcome or have to achieve lots of stuff. We can just have fun for the sake of it.
Okay, thank you so much. I wish you all the best for your adventures itself, and we'll be definitely following it and hope to see you back in Betel Box again.
Without a doubt.
We'll be here without
I love it here.
And we'll be telling our friends definitely, most certainly
Yes.
about it. Yes.
Thank you so much.